Welcome to my live stream. I hope we're going to have some fun tonight after all this eclipse energy has happened and caused all kinds of havoc for some of us. I've actually had a really great eclipse day. Hopefully we'll get some folks on here. I know it's early on the West Coast, but here where I'm at, it's 7 o'clock. Hi, Lizzie. Did you have a good eclipse? I'm just trying to fix something here. I got a new ring light and I've got a... Hi, Kathy. How's it going up there? Did you see the eclipse at all? Just trying to... let me know. I want to talk about how... Hi. I want to talk about what caused the eclipse and give a little eclipse astronomical lesson real quick. Hi, Kelly. I sent you an email earlier, just a check-in email. Yeah, Kelly, were you in the path of totality? Hi, Alita. Hi, Jane. I'm in Central Florida, and we went, hi, Nika. Hi, Sandy. Tell me all about your eclipse experiences today. Hubby is recovering from a surgery he had a couple weeks ago, and today was his first day to really get out and walk around. Oh, am I disconnected? Kathy said got disconnected, so let me know. Hi, Abby. So, we went and walked around earlier today, and we're outside and came home, and I tried to take a nap right at the height of the eclipse. And of course I couldn't stop thinking about it. Hi, Christina. And, came home and I went out back. Oh, okay. I went out back and my neighbors had this, because I have eclipse glasses somewhere in a box from the last eclipse, and I was too tired to find them. Hi, Shannon. Hello. Tell me, everybody, what you saw for your eclipse today. I laid down to take a nap, and all I could think about was it was getting a little dimmer. I wasn't in the path of totality, but I had a friend of mine who sent me some pictures. I posted on my personal Facebook page. And I couldn't go to sleep. My neighbors had this special little glass because I couldn't find my glasses, some kind of welder's glass or something. And I took a couple pictures through that with my phone. And it was pretty cool. So... Hi, Susie. I haven't been live on here in a long time, it seems, but let's talk about what's happening during an eclipse, a solar eclipse, 72% in Myrtle Beach. I think we were 60 to 70, somewhere in there. It was pretty cool, but a little dimmer. The wind picked up and got cooler, yeah. You're in South Carolina. You're still in South Carolina, right? 93, Nika. That's a lot. So just for those of you who don't know, I'm a scientist and a medium. And I started finally, after 3 years of wanting to, started my Science Proves Mediumship is Real series. So I made some content yesterday. I'm going to, every couple of days, I'm going to put one out. It'll start on my TikTok, and I only use that just because you can, do the green screen and make the videos pretty easy. I'm moving my content more and more over here to Facebook and, YouTube. I'm almost to 1,000 on YouTube. I'm so excited. Lizzie, pouring rain and dim in Scotland. Yeah. Yeah, I started the first one yesterday. I may have posted it here today. I can't remember. It was really just about, the eclipse. But the next few are definitely about science proves mediumship is real. Let's talk about the eclipse real quick, and then I'll tell you about the different videos I have coming up over the next couple of weeks. So here we have a solar eclipse. I know this is written backwards. The sun and the earth, and there's a whole big complicated story. 98 in St. Louis. Yeah, I have 3 sisters in Missouri and a bunch of nieces and a nephew, and great nieces and great nephews there. So, yeah, they're in Southeast Missouri, so they were in 100% totality. 80% in North Carolina. Yeah, it is eerie. It is eerie. The energy, yeah. I felt kind of weird all day, but I kind of overdid it the last couple of days. So, sun and earth. The earth orbits around the sun in a circle. The moon, here's my moon, goes around the earth. The earth and the moon go around the sun. Well, we are the only planetary system in our solar system, and possibly anywhere in the universe, that has total solar eclipses. Hi, Tina. Hi, Marcy. So that's a real fun fact you can tell your friends. Because of the size and distance ratio between the sun and the earth and the moon, they're the exact size and distance for us to get total solar eclipses. And then because of the angle of the orbit of the moon around the earth, it's more at the equator of the solar system. The moon doesn't go around our equator because we're tilted at an angle. The moon goes around the earth, but at the equator of the solar system. It's called the plane of the ecliptic. So if it went around, if we did not have the tilt on earth, and we would have a solar eclipse every month, but we don't because of the angles of the different things, the different bodies. So we have the sun, the earth, and then the moon is going around the earth. And then when it gets just lined up, I didn't realize how big my paper was. When it gets lined up just right for the moon to come in front of the light of the sun to block it out on Earth. Because contrary to what some people think, the moon doesn't have any light of its own. The moon's light, and I know if you know this already, I'm sorry, but a lot of people don't realize the light from the moon is sunlight. So a lot of people don't realize that. So that's basically how we have a solar eclipse. A lunar eclipse is when you have a full moon and the moon's on the other side of the earth, and you have a full moon and the earth, the moon comes in front of where the earth is and blocks out the light of the sun. So solar eclipse is this way, where the moon's in between. Lunar eclipse is where the earth is in between. So that's your little science lesson about the eclipse, which you probably saw plenty of that in the days leading up to it. Oh, Abby, don't be depressed. So the astrological meaning of the eclipse is a new beginning. Do that thing. I think it's in my video I posted. I wrote it down. Eclipses cause major endings and major beginnings and transitions in our lives. So do the thing. It's not a bad omen. If you feel depressed, you may have some stuff you need to work through still to go to that next level. I know I was talking to my guides during the beginning part of the eclipse today, and asking them, oh, you're welcome, Abby, and asking them to help me increase my mediumship ability. I've been asking them to help me get better evidence. You know, I'm okay. I wouldn't say I'm the best medium in the world. I wouldn't say I'm the worst medium in the world. I would say I'm a medium who works really hard to develop my skill set And my main goal is to help people heal. And, but the more I can improve myself as a medium, the more I can help people heal. So that's my main goal. So I was really sitting in the power for about 20 minutes or 30 minutes during the beginning part of the eclipse when I couldn't sleep for my nap. And just asking for guidance and asking, oh, thank you, Cassie, you're so sweet. Asking for more ability to gain more precise evidence. I will say that sometimes I wonder, I think I need to be more diligent about taking time to do sitting in the power more. And so I haven't been doing that as much as I need to, for sure. For sure, I need to do that more. But hubby's been today is the 3rd week of his recovery after his surgery. So I have not been able to do all the things I've been wanting to do because I've been caring for him. So hopefully he'll get to go back to work next week and I will get back on track. So do you guys want to know what my mediumship series, Science Proves Mediumship is Real? I have a video coming up about non-local consciousness. That is the belief by some scientists that study consciousness and neurology, neuroscience. Thank you, Jane. Hi, Lindsay. Non-local consciousness is the it's the thing that some scientists are studying that say our consciousness exists independently of the brain. So scientists are studying this. And that's the whole point of what I say, and most mediums, I imagine, agree with this, whether they use the same terminology or not, doesn't matter. Our consciousness is separate from our brain. Our consciousness is energy, and that's how we can communicate as mediums, hi Caitlin, with spirits in the spirit world, because their consciousness has left their body and is now in the spirit world. So that's a video I have coming up. I also have a quantum entanglement video. Hello. And that is, if you know, so quantum entanglement is when we take photons of light. You can use some other particles, but in this example, I'm going to use is photons of light. So the sunlight you saw today when you were looking and not supposed to be staring at the eclipse without your glasses, those photons of light can be, it's called entangled. They can be made to communicate with each other, and they can be in many places at once. Photons of light are energy coming from a light source. You can't catch them, but you can entangle them to communicate across the universe instantaneously, which is a really big deal. So if our mind, if our consciousness is made of energy, and all energy gives off these little photons, it's very complicated, we'll just say that, and we can entangle them, we can communicate instantaneously. So that's another video I have coming up. Oh, thank you, Kelly. Oh, thank you, sweetheart. Hi, Kathleen. And then what else do I have? I made notes. Near-death experiences. I have another lady. So I do near-death experience videos where I interview people and I ask for their permission to post it on my YouTube channel. Peaceful Nik the Medium. It's the same name. And I have 3 interviews on there, but I only put 2 in the playlist because I can't find the 3rd one. of people who've had near-death experiences. And I have another lady who I'm going to be interviewing soon who had a very profound near-death experience. Near-death experiences have been studied a lot by scientists, therapists, psychologists, a lot. And what they find is there are, and if you read Journey of Souls, that's a life between life type of thing, but it's all in the same realm. They find that these near-death experiencers have the same things happen very, there's like five or six major points. Hi, Kathy. Oh, okay. Kathleen, I'm not, from the eclipse, okay. There's like 5 or 6 major points that most near-death experiencers report. And these can be people separated in time and distance, people who've never met each other, have no way of knowing, and people who have reported this before the internet was a thing and didn't have any way of knowing what other people were experiencing. And there's a neurosurgeon, Dr. Eben Alexander, if you've heard of him. He's fascinating. He had bacterial meningitis, and it was so bad they had to put him into a coma. And he had a profound near-death experience, and it changed his life. So that's another video I have coming up. ESP, how ESP works. Hold on, I'm getting cold. I cranked up my AC because I was getting warm while I was getting ready, and now I'm freezing. ESP, so how mediums can access information using their clairs and how that works, if you know about the clairs. Neuroscience of consciousness, the neural correlates of consciousness, what's happening in the brain to cause consciousness to be. And then I watched a video about Bashar, the channeler, who, hi Terry, who gets, he got connected to electrodes in a scientific study. And it was really fascinating while he was channeling, the gentleman who channels Bashar, I should say, Daryl, while he's channeling, his brain waves are completely different than when he's in his normal state of consciousness. So it's quite fascinating. So if anybody has any questions about mediumship, science, the clairs, spirit guides, anything like that, put them in the chat. I'll answer a couple questions. I actually planned this live at this time because we watch a lot of sports in my house. My husband's a big sports fan. I love sports, but you know, I can only handle so much. And I know that the basketball college championship is tonight. Hi, Nikki. And I was planning this live to go on while the game was on. But when I published it, the time of the game, yeah, Abby, it is amazing. The time of the game wasn't announced yet. So I'm like, oh, it'll probably be at like 7 o'clock. So I'll plan my live at like 7. It's not till 9:20 where I'm at. So I get to watch the whole game. Very, very excited. Hi, Sylvia. So nobody has any questions about mediumship? Nothing? Well, I'm going to make more content about quantum biology, information theory, anthropology, and how throughout the written history of humans and archaeological sites where they have found different things, all cultures have some type of afterlife belief. I mean, the Egyptians, that was like their whole thing, right? Everything they did was about the afterlife. Somebody asked, but it disappeared. Oh, I wonder if she left. Someone asked how many spirit guides I have. I have one main guide, George, and I have another guide who told me she is Mother Guide. That's what she said. So that is, she's for emergency use only. She made me understand, you know, like cracked glass in case of emergency. Oh, I made another video about mirror neurons. That one's really cool. The subject of mirror neurons is really cool. You know how when you see somebody like fall down and hit their face, or somebody break their legs, you feel it like, that's because you have mirror neurons in your brain. Messages from Spirit wants to know, do we all have the same number of guides? No, we don't. And how many Terry says, how many do we usually have? It varies from person to person. I have one guide I talk to regularly, and right now that's pretty much all I can handle. Some people have a number of guides, 5, 6, 7, 10. I was in class with a lady, can't remember who it was or what her name was. And she had a guide for this, a guide for that, a guide for this, a guide for that. And I'm like, who can keep up with all those guides? I can't. My guides know one at a time is all I can handle. And so I would say you don't really need more than a couple at a time, unless all you're doing is communicating with your guides and you do nothing else. I would say if you have more than 5, that's probably getting a little crowded. Your guides can change and come and go throughout your life depending on what you need and what's going on in your life. So I don't know if Kathy's still on here. What would you recommend anybody having more than 5 guides? I think that would be plenty. You woke up at 3:33. I'm very interested in angel numbers and numerology. And it's funny that you mentioned that, because for the last 3 days, I have had sequential numbers repeatedly, like almost uncannily. So you can Google angel numbers and 333, but it's going to vary from person to person depending on like what's happening in your life. It's not going to be the same for everybody. I just don't believe in a straight answer for every person. How did you feel when it happened? What was going on when it happened? Yeah, Sylvia, I know. Because yesterday he watched the girls' championship, because the girls' teams are so good this year. Everybody's been watching the girls' college. And I was like, I cannot take any more basketball because the tournament's been on for a month. Let's see. Abby says, I'm still having issues breaking through the wall that I set up years ago. I am fascinated by you and Kathy and your abilities. I'm assuming you're meaning like the mediumship wall, learning mediumship and things like that. You have to trust and allow. And when you're ready to trust and allow, it'll happen. Mine conked me over the head like a ton of bricks, and I couldn't stop it. It just happened, and it was so crazy. And then my kids all moved out suddenly all at once, and then it just started happening again and again, and then I got trained. And I think mine happened when my kids were older, because I had more time to do it, and I wasn't so bogged down with their lives. So it's going to vary from person to person. I have a million videos on YouTube, not a million, but I have a bunch of videos on YouTube under Mediumship Learning playlist on my page. Feel free to watch those. I have some videos of mini classes I've done on there, development videos. You can feel free to watch those. Terry, yeah, okay, so I addressed the numbers, the repeated numbers. Jane, how do you find your guides? So sometimes they just appear randomly, like all of a sudden. I had to be guided to find my guides through like a little meditation. My teacher walked me through to find my guides. I have some, again, on my YouTube channel. They're free. Just if you go on Peaceful Nik the Medium YouTube, you'll see Mediumship Learning and Development or something's a playlist, and there's a couple spirit guide videos on there. If you don't like mine, I mean, I'm not for everybody. There's a million other find your spirit guide videos on YouTube. There's lots of them. You basically get walked through a meditation. There's different techniques. I found mine on the beach the first time, where you walked on the beach. There's a bench. Mine's a white bench on the beach, or a chair, and who's sitting there? There's your guide. That's how I found mine. And then I had another one where we walked through front, back, left, and right. And there's another one where you can walk into the forest in the winter with the snow on the ground, and there's a cabin in the woods, and there's a candle, and you walk in, and there's a table, and you sit down, and you look up. So there's a bunch of different techniques. And then you have to repeat it because you might just see a person there. It could be a loved one in spirit. That's not actually your guide. So you have to kind of practice and do it a few times to make sure you got your guide. And you ask them, what's your name? Are you my guide? And you ask them questions, and trust me, once you find them, they're like the best helpers ever. Kathleen, I wasn't sure if that was part of mediumship. Oh, the numbers? I'm just not really trained on that right now. You're welcome. Shannon sees angel numbers. Messages, Kathy says, I believe you can have many guides, but they will step forward when they need them. Yes, 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 yes. Abby had dreams and was an empath. Yeah, I started by being an empath. Hi, Kevin. Oh, Carol raves about you. Yes, Carol is one of my dear, dear sweethearts. Hello. It's nice to see you. I'm glad you're here. My mediumship journey probably started many years ago, but I didn't know. I had a couple of profound growth spurts emotionally. One was in the mid-90s when I read the Celestine Prophecy. That changed my life. And then my niece, actually, I'm not that much older than my nieces because I have older sisters who had kids young. So we were more like sisters than aunt and niece. She bought me a book called A New Earth by Eckhart Tolle. I can't say enough about it. Changed my life. That was 2014 when I read it. And about 6 years ago is when I had my first big mediumship experience. And then I got trained shortly after that to be a medium. So, but it all started by me discovering what an empath was. And I didn't know why I was so sensitive. Kathleen, do you know like who they are, name-wise, people, or... No. It's not a dumb question. So some people are really specific and have real strict lines about who your guides can be. I am not an in-the-box person. I am everything, there's no sharp edges in my world. Everything's soft, and there's always variation and overlap, and things are more gray than black and white. I'm not a in-the-box thinker. I'm an out-of-the-box thinker. So My spirit guides, technically labeled, are George and Mother Guide right now. And then some gold thing that floats above my head, and I'm not sure what that is yet because I've been real busy, but I know it's there. But some people ask me, can my mom or grandma or dad or uncle or best friend be my spirit guide? You will hear mediums say, absolutely not. They can't be your spirit guide. Then you'll hear people say they're helper guides. And then people say they're helpers or they're a type of guide. To me, if you feel guided by these people that you knew in life, that's perfectly fine by me. The more help, the better. My sort of belief, is your main spirit guides are people you didn't know in spirit, that in this life. You didn't know them in this life, your main spirit guides. And then like my mom passed in 86 and she's been guiding me. She's a type of guide, but I don't think of her as my spirit guide. When I ask her for guidance, it's more automatic. I don't even really have to ask her. My spirit guide, it's a different energy and a different relationship. But if you want to call your loved ones in spirit your spirit guides, that doesn't bother me, doesn't hurt me. It shouldn't, harm, it wouldn't do any harm to anyone as long as that's just for you. So that's what I would say to that. Jane, I would want to stay with who I am comfortable, which is you or Kathy. Okay. Ask away. I'm here to help. And I'm sure Kathy's the same. Oh, you're welcome. You are very welcome. Yeah, the eclipse energy was pretty intense. Hi, Angela. Was pretty intense. I feel real good about it. I'm working on I suddenly got a tremendous workload with my science job. I work for a nonprofit Mars advocacy group. I've been working with them since 2012, and suddenly I just got a lot of responsibilities put on me and a lot of travel in the next few months. So I am pretty excited about having that and my mediumship going really well. So I think this eclipse has really made my full-time mediumship work at home for part-time with my other job pretty, it has really solidified that that's my life, and I'm super excited about it. And I had another medium ask me to join another big project, but it's still in the beginning process and I just can't manage all of that right now. So I told her to keep me in mind for a future project, because it's a lot of work outside of the home that takes a lot of time, and I just couldn't commit to that right now. It's a great project. Kathleen, I was told my mom's dad was on my spirit team. Never met him, and my mom's sister, who she is predeceased by. I knew her before while she was living. So, yeah, spirit team, I'm fine with that. But just know there's a difference between the people who you were related to in real life and your guides that you've never, that were not incarnated during your life or your family's life. So it's very possible, because they're going to guide you, right? Because all of our loved ones in spirit are helping us all the time. They're always trying to say, hey, dummy, look at that. See that opportunity? see that thing you should be changing, see that choice you should make. See, you know, they're trying to put stuff in front of us all the time and get our attention. So sure, they're part of your spirit team. Perfectly fine. I'm fine with that. Terry, does it take a long time to get to know your signs when you do a reading? Do you mean like my signs and symbols for, like some mediums say, I see a balloon, that's my sign for birthday? Is that what you're talking about? Clarify what you mean. And I'll answer. But for me, I don't, as a medium, and I don't know that Kathy has a lot either on here. Okay, good. I'm glad you said yes. For me, because like I said earlier, I'm a real, everything's gray. There's no black or white. All the edges are available for movement, right? There's no exact square in my world. I'm not boxed in. I do not get a lot of signs. I don't know why that is. I have a couple, like I'll see an urn or a necklace with somebody's ashes and I'll know they're cremated. I mean, I don't know if that's a sign or just part of the evidence. Sometimes when I see a motorcycle, it means someone passed really quickly. So, but my mediumship is really just kind of a combination of different clairs. Like sometimes I'll see a whole movie scene playing out in front of me. Sometimes I'll hear words. Sometimes I'll see words printed out in my head. Sometimes I feel things like heart attacks or stabbings or shootings or something in the brain. Mine is just not that filled with signs. It's just not something that developed for me. I was taught to learn my signs in my mediumship courses I took. I was taught that, okay, learn your signs. This is what you should, find out. Ask your guides what your signs are. And I asked my guides what my signs are, and they were just a bunch of lists of random things that maybe I made up, I don't know. And they never became to fruition. Thank you, Kelly. Hi, Trina. So I think everybody who develops is very different. And I think the way your brain works, each person's different. Their brain works differently. The way they process things works differently. I'm a very non-traditional type learner, and I don't like I don't think in a long line. I think like everything's just everywhere, if that makes sense to anybody. Not a big, I'm not a fan of rigidity is what I'll say. I don't like when things are rigid. Things are all malleable and soft around the edges. Let's see. Wanted to see or find out myself, so I'll try your videos again. Okay, yeah. You can email me, and if you want to make an appointment, Kathleen, to meet your spirit guide, I'll be happy to book you an appointment. I used to have it on my website, but it kind of got crowded, so I took it off to put other stuff up there. But yeah, I do little one-on-one classes if you want to do that. Terry, great question. Do you always hear spirits when you're around people? So you have to, when you get trained to be a medium, you have to learn boundaries. And one of the boundaries is don't let all the spirits talk to you all the time, because it will cause you a lot of stress. I used to have a lot of severe social anxiety, and I didn't know why. until I became a medium. And then I found, oh, I'm feeling all the energy of all these people. And I'm feeling all the energy of all their spirit friends that I didn't know I had access to. So you have to put up boundaries. For instance, I went somewhere with my husband today. Like I said earlier, he's recovering from surgery, and it was his first real day out. And just to get some exercise. And we were around a lot of people. And I was like, okay, guides. Because we've been pretty much at home for 3 weeks while he was recovering. And that was a lot to suddenly encounter. And I was like, all right, keep the energy away. And I just imagine a big mirror facing away from me, surrounding me, projecting all the energy of all the people outward and away. As far as spirits and hearing them, yeah, sometimes they pop in at inconvenient times. When I worked outside of the home, there were several times before I had my boundaries in place and before I knew any better. I was in a meeting once with my boss, and her grandma popped in and from spirit and started, like, it was just kind of like hovering over her shoulder while I was in this important meeting at work. And I couldn't tell my boss at my job that that was happening. So I just said to her grandma in spirit, and I said, hey, you know, this isn't really the appropriate time for this. If you want to get a message to her, make sure that you allow that to happen in another way. And so that's happened several times until I learned my boundaries to put them in place better. It's all practice. It's all practice and discipline. Angela, can you tell me who is watching over me or guiding me? So part of our own spiritual journey is to go into a meditation or a sitting in the power to find those people yourself. Because I could charge you money. I could charge you $50, $100, $1,000, any amount of money, and tell you a bunch of stuff. But that's not for me. That's your journey. And I just don't think it's ethical for me to go around saying, and I know people do it, it's your journey to find. Now, guiding you to find them is a different story because you are the one finding them. But if I am telling you who it is, I mean, I could be making it up, right? It's your journey. But I will tell you, you do have guides. Everyone does. Every single person does. Whether they believe in it or not, they have them. And all of your loved ones who are in spirit, whether you met them or not. So if you had a grandma you never met, she's going to be guiding you. If you had a great uncle you never met, they're going to be guiding you. So all of your loved ones in spirit are there, and your team, your spirit team, or your guides. Chelsea, when you do a reading for someone, is it possible to share details about their past life? I do not do past life regressions. I do know that Lorenda Carr, I believe, the medium, I'm pretty sure Lorenda Carr does that. I could learn it. I just haven't had the time to take the courses to do that. And it is something I'm very interested in doing. I want to learn more numerology, more tarot, and learn how to do past life regressions as well. So those are some of the things that I have. But now that my science job has picked up threefold overnight, I don't know if I'll have all the time I need to learn all those, but you never know. You never know. Traveling here and there and everywhere is gonna take a lot of time. Any other questions for now? I will also be live in the Proof of Life After Death group tomorrow night, but you have to be a member in that group. And there's several groups with the same name. So if you can find it, I'll be live there tomorrow night too. Hi, Dee Dee. Any other comments about eclipse energy? I have May 9th, I have a gallery with Kathy. It's part of our spirit exchange, and we have the a la carte gallery for one time. Yeah, Jane, I'll try to. I can't do it now because if I go over to that page, I'll get knocked off of this page. To join our gallery, a lot of you on here already are in the spirit exchange, but if you're not and you want to join a gallery with two mediums, myself and Kathy Barron's on May 9th, it's only $25. Oh, thank you, Kathy. It's only $25 for that gallery. On May 9th, it's 90 minutes. Chelsea, I read that animals act strange during an eclipse. Yeah, they're probably because a lot of animals base their biology and the things they do on the daylight and the nighttime. So like certain types of cats, big cats are hunt at night only. So, and certain types of big cats hunt during the day only. So if it's, you know, halfway through the day and all of a sudden it's pitch black, they're going to act different. So yeah, because the light controls the biology on this whole planet. The sunlight controls everything. Without the sun, we wouldn't exist. All of the life on Earth started because of the sun. The energy from the sun, the photons of light. Thanks, Kathy. Let's see. I kind of want to do a couple mini readings, but I don't know. Actually, let me go run. Hi, Maggie. Oh, sweet Maggie. How are you, honey? How was the eclipse today? Did you guys watch it? Let me know. I need to go get my phone charger. So if you guys can just wait a second, and then I'm going to come back because my battery's almost dead. I'm going to come back and do a couple mini readings. So I will be back one. Oh, yay. Did you take any pictures? I don't know what the little 3 means after your name. Yeah, some of you have like little badges after your name. Okay, let me go get my charger before my phone dies. I'll be right back. Okay. Oh, you watched it work. Did you guys have the good... I took a couple of pictures, but my friend, my boss actually at the Mars place, he sent me, he was in the Path of Totality. And my sisters were all in the Path of Totality in Missouri. I don't know if I can reach this. You didn't find this eclipse energy stressful. Yeah, I felt great. I gotta move my phone up to put this charger in. I felt great. I thought it was wonderful. Yeah, eclipses make me feel closer to the universe too. It is awesome. Sadly, we're not going to have another, I think,